Andrew, I want to get a broad scope for you. Is the kind of rally we're seeing in aluminum, tin, nickel, is that sustainable?
So I think you have to differentiate a little bit. Aluminum, certainly different factors. You have U.S. sanctions, you have tariffs, you have real things that are actually happening. In the nickel market, there was a lot of confusion, right? So there was a notice that was floating around yesterday. Nickel prices rose because the LME said they were going to delist brands that were tied to previous production that Norilsk Nickel was taking down. This is stuff that happened in 2017 in October. So, I don't want to say fake news, but, nickel is rallying on false pretenses, so to speak.
Fair point. Lori, if we get this kind of rally in industrial metals, if you take a look at this Bloomberg chart, you can see how much industrial metals have outperformed things like precious metals and even the broader commodity index. Does that tell us that we're actually in a good global growth environment? That would have been the argument about a year ago.
Well, certainly we are in a good global growth environment, and we actually see momentum in global growth picking up. So that shouldn't surprise anybody. But there are some other factors at play here, too. Certainly China, as one of the largest producers of aluminum, has actually been tightening its capacity. And we also saw increased auto demand in the U.S. and in China and other places, in the U.S. on the back of the hurricanes, that is now starting to flag a little bit. So we do think that at this stage we're at a bit of a top point.
So Lori, to pursue that, how much of the aluminum uptick is just pure sanctions? And if it is to a significant degree, does that have anything to do with nickel?
Well, there's a certain amount of it that is. It's hard to really digest between market moves that are really in the back of trading. Keep in mind that these are traded markets as well as actually fundamentally driven markets. So it's hard to really distill what's just driven by Rusal or some of the Russian sanctions or other things of that nature versus the fundamentals. But we think the fundamental backdrop is strong. We also think that the supply-demand dynamics have led to a higher price than would be sort of warranted at this stage in the economy. And we actually think that, if anything, we're seeing a leveling off of the global growth and demand.